I'm arresting you on suspicion of breaching your community protection order by being in less than 100 metres from a police station. I'm also arresting you on suspicion of being found in an enclosed premises. Do not have to say anything that may harm your defence. You do not mention one question, something which later on.
Today's episode is made possible by Brett Chamberlain. Make sure you check the link below, subscribe to his channel, and give him the recognition he's earned. In this video, Brett unexpectedly walks straight into one of the most foolish and expensive police errors I've ever featured. He enters a police station privacy room, a space he had previously been allowed to use, when suddenly two officers rush in and interrogate him as if he has committed a serious security breach. Brett initially dismisses it, but out of nowhere, he's arrested for supposedly violating a court order that has nothing to do with him. What follows is one of the most humiliating identity mix-ups you'll ever witness, and Brett ultimately turns this chaos into one of the largest settlements ever covered on this channel.
This isn't public access in here.
Yeah, but I'm in conversation with her.
I know, but this isn't a public access area, so you can just head out into here for me.
I'm in the middle of a conversation. This is so that I can have a private conversation. Yeah, but I'm having a private conversation with him.
Okay, you're not at the minute though, so if you could just head out on here, because this is a private room. Thank you very much.
Sure. Right. What's your name again, sorry?
As I said, Tony.
Tony and Lucy, was it?
Yeah.
Right.
Correct.
And you're 8013.
7536.
And you want to know how I managed to get through there?
Yeah.
Why are you so curious about that?
See, are you not going to tell us? I mean,
Area.
ultimately we can look at the cameras. If you can tell us, that'd just be quicker for everyone involved, wouldn't it?
Well, I don't see what I need to tell you.
Okay, well, we'll wait on it.
Why are you so curious about that then?
Because it's a locked room, that's all.
Maybe I've got superpowers.
Do we know who can access the cameras in the front office? Staff here don't know.
Based on their reaction, you'd think Brett had bypassed high-level security systems, but all he did was open an unlocked door with no signs or warnings. Under premises and policing law, that detail is critical. When there's no notice and no physical restriction, a member of the public has no reason to believe entry isn't allowed. Brett didn't break in, didn't bypass any controls, and didn't ignore any directions. The reality is straightforward. If police want a room kept private, they must secure it. They failed to do so. That's a procedural mistake, not a criminal act. Their decision to escalate and review CCTV rather than acknowledge their own oversight explains exactly how this situation spiraled out of control.
Have you just come out of custody?
No.
No.
Well, I did go and see custody.
You want to go see her? Okay.
Yeah, I was just having a look round.
Did they help you?
Well, she opened the door for me. Okay. But I was having a look round.
I think we just need to make sure that this door is secure. That's really...
Yeah.
Because you're not committing any offences, so we just need to make sure that the door is secure, that's all. I wonder if it's just been left slightly...
But that's just a private room, isn't it? So you can have a private conversation rather than having a public one out there.
Into it, were you? I'm out of the police station. Don't want you in the police station.
Why not? It's a public building.
I think you've got bail conditions not to be in them.
No, I haven't.
You've got a CBO condition, have you not?
No.
What have you got then?
Nothing at all. What's CBO stand for?
Human behaviour order.
No, I haven't.
Well, my colleague's just going to get some details. And we'll work it out from there.
How are you? How can I not be allowed to go in a police station then? It's like not being allowed in a hospital if you had a road accident or something. I've got business to be in here.
The male officer then blocks Brett from re-entering the station, a public facility, based purely on saying, "I think you've got a CBO." At that point, it wasn't even confirmed by the officer checking the system. He acted on suspicion alone and treated it as fact. You cannot deny someone access to public services based on a guess, especially when the person clearly states they are waiting for an officer they were already dealing with. A criminal behavior order is a serious court-issued restriction following conviction. It's not something you assume. You must be certain, because a mistake means unlawfully stripping an innocent person of their rights.
What's your business to be in there?
Well, I have got business to be in there.
What's your business?
I'm inquiring and following up about an illegal arrest.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that remains to be seen, doesn't it?
What, as to whether it was illegal or not? You know my name, do you?
Yeah.
Because obviously that gentleman in there, who's very polite actually and very helpful, he knows who I am. What would happen if I went in the police station then?
You'd be breaching whatever order it is that you've been given.
Well, I haven't been given any orders. Yeah. When you just tell me how you get given the order, because as far as I know, there's no order. But how would it have been presented? In some sort of document form, wouldn't it?
Usually, yeah.
And I'd have had a bit of paper or a bit of writing on there saying...
Or you may have been to court.
No, I haven't been to court. Only in jury service. I'm allowed in the police station until you can prove that otherwise, aren't I?
Brett ends up doing the officer's job for him, and his reasoning is airtight. If a criminal behavior order exists, it originates from a court. It's officially recorded, formally served, and accompanied by documentation explaining the conditions. By calmly asking questions like, how would I receive it? And would I be given paperwork? Brett forces the obvious conclusion. If none of that occurred, then there is no order or they have the wrong individual. Before denying access, the officer should have first properly confirmed Brett's identity. Second, checked the system for an active order linked to that person. And third, verified service and terms. Professional standards require decisions based on evidence, not assumptions.
No, because we don't want you in there just at the moment.
Why not?
Because we believe that you're breaching a community order.
A community order?
Yeah.
How else would the community order work then? So, for example, would it be for like antisocial behaviour or...
I believe so. I haven't seen the order myself.
Yeah, there would be, what I'm getting at is there would be a reason would there as to why you're not allowed to do something. Is that right? Yeah, and that would be down there as well. What sort of things could you be given that sort of...
There's a multitude of things.
Well, go on. These are what I'm interested in. Hiya.
Hello. Can I just confirm your name is Julian?
Some people call me that, yeah.
Okay, fine. Julian, the time is 1:15 p.m. I'm arresting you on suspicion of breaching your community protection order by being in less than 100 metres from a police station. I'm also arresting you on suspicion of being found in an enclosed premises. Do not have to say anything that may harm your defence. You do not mention one question, something which later will lie in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand what that means?
Yeah.
So you're under arrest now, so you're not allowed your phone.
The female officer then asks, your name's Julian. Brett answers honestly. Some people call me that. That response should have prompted proper checks for legal name, correct spelling, date of birth, and confirmation through official systems. Instead, she treats a casual nickname as verified identification and moves straight to arrest. That alone is a disastrous procedural failure. It gets worse when she arrests Brett for breaching a community protection order and then adds an allegation of being found in an enclosed premises, an accusation that immediately falls apart under her own statements.
I think we just need to make sure that this door is secure. That's really...
Yeah.
Because you're not committing any offences, so we just need to make sure that the door is secure. That's all.
She openly admits the door wasn't locked. She confirms there was no forced entry. She acknowledges no offense had occurred. Then, despite all of that, she arrests him for the very act she had already established was not a crime.
So what happened was I was arrested. They used force against me and put me in cuffs and bent my fingers back. They stuck me into the back of the police van and took me around to the custody place where I was told that I'd breached a behavioural order and I'd got into a secure area. Well, I protested my innocence and well, they looked into it and discovered that they had arrested the wrong person, that there's another person with my name and date of birth who has a behavioural order against them, and they thought that that was me, and like I say, arrested me for it. And then this secure area I got into, well, the door was ajar. It's in the public foyer where you have a private conversation with the police staff.
Brett is taken into custody as if he's a serious threat, all based on an identity that was never properly verified. Once in custody, the truth unravels almost instantly. The individual they were actually looking for shares the same name and date of birth, but it wasn't Brett. That fact alone highlights the recklessness involved. He was arrested on a hunch, without proper checks, without due diligence, and without basic safeguards against mistaken identity. Then comes the final embarrassment. They accuse him of entering a secure area. Even in custody, officers have to admit what Brett had been saying all along. The door wasn't locked. It was slightly open. It was a public privacy room, intended for confidential conversations between staff and members of the public. By the time custody staff realized he was completely innocent, the harm was already done. Unlawful arrest, physical discomfort from restraints, and a complete breakdown of professionalism from beginning to end.
In the police station now, I had legitimate reason to be in there. I wanted to talk to them about the previous case. Guys in the custody suite, to be fair, are nice guys. Big up Graham in the custody. But they released me, saying they'd checked the CCTV footage and seen that the door was ajar, and I just pushed the door open and went in. So it wasn't a secure area. So that's that, really. pretty shocking to get arrested though for that, isn't it?
Brett's response afterward sums it up better than any analysis ever could. When someone questioned how, with modern technology, police could arrest the wrong person inside their own station, Brett delivered the answer. £7,000 plus legal costs likely exceeding £20,000 in total. That figure says everything. Authorities don't pay out sums like that unless the arrest is utterly indefensible. This wasn't a minor error. It was such a severe failure that the only option was to quietly resolve it with taxpayer money and hope the full extent of the mistake went unnoticed. What makes this case even more shocking is how easily it could have been avoided. Brett was calm, cooperative, and non-disruptive. He wasn't sneaking around, he simply entered an unmarked, unlocked room the police themselves failed to secure. Yet instead of treating him like a member of the public waiting to see an officer, they treated him like a suspect in a major investigation. As the identity error began to surface, the officers had multiple opportunities to pause and reassess. Brett asked reasonable questions about documentation and procedure, each one a clear warning sign that something was wrong. Instead, they pressed on. One moment, the female officer admits no offense has been committed. The next, she's placing handcuffs on him for 2 alleged violations that never occurred. The ending confirms it all. A settlement exceeding £20,000 once costs were included. That's the kind of resolution offered only when there's no defense left. Brett received justice, and rightly so, but the public paid the price for police incompetence. Another reminder that professionalism in policing isn't optional. It's absolutely essential. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps support my independent work. Show some love. Thanks for watching. This was Rate the Audit, and I'll see you in the next one.